Liz, let's talk about what America thinks. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Season 1, Episode 9, and the name of the episode is called Questionable Behavior. Listen, I've been telling y'all about Liz. I could see it in her. I can see it through her. I think that she's a very nasty woman. I'm sorry. She's just a very nasty woman. You can see it in her spirit, and her true colors finally came out, okay? So the episode started off with the continuation of the fight between Rosie and Kelsey. Rosie kicked Kelsey out the house, and Rosie said, let her get her protection spray. And so I thought that she was going to go get some bear mace or even a gun.
Oh my God.
But it was some sage spray. I've never heard, I like to burn sage from time to time, but I've never heard of sage spray in my life. And for some reason, I am very, I don't think that I don't like evolution with everything, right? Let me just keep the sage sticks, right? Let me just keep the original sage sticks. I don't want the spray. I want the sage sticks. But, to each their own, okay? What surprised me through this whole fight or argument between Kelsey and Rosie was that the whole time Clemmy didn't do nothing. Clemmy didn't do nothing. I would have put Clemmy out. I wouldn't want Clemmy to bite Kelsey. I would just want him to get vicious, right? And, chase her down the street or something, right? Before she got in her car. I don't want her to get directly in her car. I want her to run down the street a little bit and have her begging, good boy, please come and get your dog. You know what I'm saying? Clemmy just didn't do nothing, was just over there laying down the whole time. What do we need Clemmy for if he ain't gonna protect nobody?
Get that bitch out of here.
Now, after Kelsey got kicked out and she was on her way home, she ended up calling Liz and she didn't tell the full story, right? And I know that this is an edited show, but they showed her starting what Kelsey started going off when she got into the house, but she didn't share what she did prior, right? Let's start at A. And it's no mistake that she called Liz first because she knew who was going to have her back. Okay? Kelsey shares that Kelsey said everyone in Rhode Island knows that she sleeps with married men and she only slept with 6 men in her life.
In some ways.
To me, that's not everybody's business, right? Because while some may look at it like 6 is not a lot of people, a virgin like me or people who've only been with one person think that's kind of whorish.
You nasty.
6 people, that's a lot. That's a lot. Kelsey also said that she never slept with a married man. She said that Rosie actually slept with a married man, and she slept with 2 of them that she know of. She said one of the people was at her old job, and she ruined his marriage. And she said the second person, which was the basketball coach who paid her off, he paid her off not to talk about the relationship, which is how she had the money to buy the house.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that Kelsey is saying this in a way to embarrass Rosie. I don't know if it's true or not, but let's just say that it is true. If you ask me, Rosie still came out on top because at the end of the day, her name is on the deed to her house.
Like what?
That's the reason why.
Right? And your name ain't on shit. You are still dependent on a man to pay your bills. At least she got some out of the deal. You was over there for 10 years and you didn't leave with a motherfucking thing. You still got to beg the man to pay your bills.
You are a dumb call. Shut up.
Next, we get Ashley. Her and Jared are bulk shopping at a restaurant depot. Fun fact, my dad used to run a juke joint, or some of y'all probably call it a hole in the wall. He used to run a hole in the wall when I was in high school. So every Saturday morning, we would go with him to a place where you buy things in bulk and take it to the juke joint and fill everything up and have to clean the place up. And it was open every day during the week, but Friday and Saturdays, the entire neighborhood. I grew up in Houston, which is a city, but the neighborhood that I grew up in was more like a country. And when I say that, I mean, for instance, my best friend's mother, her and my grandmother actually went to high school together, right? So it's like everybody knows everybody. And every Friday and Saturday, it used to be lit. Everybody, all of the grown-ups, the adults in the neighborhood would go to the hole in the wall and just have fun. And the kids we'll be out doing all types of crazy stuff or whatever. But yeah, that's just a fun fact, okay? Ashley and Jared are hosting trivia night at Audrey's, and all of the girls are invited, okay? Now, Rosie calls Ashley and tells her that she doesn't know if she wants to go to trivia night if all the girls are going, and she explains the fight that she just had with Kelsey, okay? Rosie is kind of giving Ashley an ultimatum by telling her that she can invite whoever she wants to, but if Kelsey is going to be there, she's not going. And Rosie, I don't like that coming from you.
I don't like this at all.
This is your friend. And when you got a friend, you show up. If she having trivia night, you there. You there. You support your friend. You asked that girl to stand up for you with these pack of wolves, right? And you returned the favor. You asked this girl to stand up for you, and she did that. That's friendship. Sometimes you're going to be in uncomfortable situations. You show up for your friend. This is the first event she has thrown. And she should be able to invite everybody. You are a grown woman. You are a grown woman, right? Now, the only grace that I'm going to give Rosie is that this seems to be the same day that the fight went down, because in the FaceTime call, it seemed like that she still had on the same outfit. But in my opinion, you just don't do that to friends. I'm not missing my friend's event to be ducking from a bitch, right? If my friend is throwing something, you let that bitch decide if she won't show up or not, because she should automatically know I'm coming. You the foe. But this my friend, you should know I'm coming. In fact, Kelsey should be scared to show up to Ashley's event, knowing that you there.
It's whatever, ho.
But you know, that's y'all, that ain't me. Okay. Next we get Rula and Alicia. They meet at a beach. Alicia is really becoming one of my faves. I love her authenticity.
I like your ass. I like you. I don't give a fuck.
Now, Rula and Alicia run into Joellen's neighbor, Amanda, and she shares that she hasn't talked to Joellen in over a year, okay? Now, according to Rula, Joellen stabbed her in the back as well. Now, I wish Amanda had said it to the camera. I probably would believe it, but I don't know if Rula is telling the truth. She could just be saying anything because she's mad, right? And so that's just how I am. If you beefing with somebody, I can't trust what you say 100%. I don't trust what nobody said 100%.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
But I'm just saying, I can't just, be on Rula's side, because I just don't know if she's mad or not, okay? Rula shares that Ashley did invite her to trivia night, but she's not going because she doesn't want to be around negative energy, and she needs to distance herself from it to protect her well-being. And I understand where Rula is coming from, but I do think that Rula needs to take accountability as well. She told Joellen twice that I counted that if she had some information to let her know. And I think that she only did that to save face, when she really should have told Joella to mind her motherfucking business and leave her relationship alone. And I think that it really sucks for me, because I enjoyed seeing Rula with the group. I remember when they went to the event that Rosie threw, I believe it was the Railroad Expressway. I can't remember the name of it, but she was throwing them drinks back, baby. And, I love to see it. And she does seem, outside of Joella, because Joella wasn't there, she seemed to have fun and she seemed to be unbothered. So I hate that she is, ducking the group because she doesn't want to be around Joellen. And, I just want to see her with the group.
Are you okay? Mm-hmm.
Rula says that Brian used to kiss the ground that she walks on, and she's taking steps for them to get to where they used to be. And that's your prerogative. To each their own. I'm not going to judge. You're the one with the 2 kids. I always say, Rula is the one with the 2 kids by Brian, and she's the one who will have to raise those kids by herself, or if, have to find another spouse to help her raise her kids. So I can't tell her what to do. Alicia doesn't want to share with Rula the video that she saw with Brian. She said that she thinks that it's rude to do something like that to a person with 2 kids. I feel like that Alicia is making the right decision, because I'm wise enough to know that if Alicia tells Rula about that video, it will affect their friendship. It's just I have seen it too many times. It will affect their friendship. It will. Okay, Alicia shares with Rula that if her relationship doesn't work out, she'll be good. But if Billy did what Brian did, she'll be asked out like her mom was, because she doesn't work and she depends on Billy for everything. And I thought that Rula gave her great advice. And this is why I want to see more of her on the show. She said, if you feel like that you can't figure it out now, it will be 5 times worse later. And you have to look out for yourself and your daughter just in case that he doesn't, right? And she challenges Alicia on what steps that she's going to take to protect herself to feel empowered. And she tells her to claim what's hers and claim her stake in piece of mama, and come up with a plan and present it to Billy. Billy, right? Okay, I'm getting the names mixed up. We got too many B's and we got too many G's. Okay, and then I believe we got 2 Billys. So bear with me, okay? Then we see a triple date, okay? We got Joellen and Gary, Liz and Jerry, and Slam Pig and Super Saver Hope. So Slam Pig says, contrary to what Rosie says, she doesn't suck dick for a career. She went from one boyfriend to the next, and she sucked his for free.
Girl, shut up. You are making things worse.
Slam Pig, Kelsey, this is not endearing you to the audience, baby, or making you look any better. At least when Pinky says the only meat that she eats her husband's, she was talking about her husband. And I would much rather you suck dick for a career because at least you'll have one instead of depending on your ex to pay your rent.
You're a dummy, bitch.
Now, apparently, this is the same day that Kelsey and Rosie got into a fight because Joellen shares that Rosie called her earlier in the day, and Kelsey and Liz were shocked by that. And to be honest with you, I was shocked too. Okay, now maybe Joellen felt like that what they did in Newport Beach was wrong, but for some reason, Rosie trusted her, and Rosie ended up calling her. Now, Rosie's account was that Kelsey came over with the bullhorn saying that she was the house measuring police. But according to Joellen, Rosie failed to mention that she said that Kelsey was a career dick sucker and a slam pig. And Liz is saying, I know that's not true. Shut the fuck up! You don't know what's true or not. You don't know what's true or not, okay? Now, some of them have never heard of slam pig before, so they looked it up, and the definition is a promiscuous woman, typically overweight or ugly, only sought after for pumping and dumping. Now, I think the definition fits Kelsey.
Yup.
I'm sorry. It fits her. Typically overweight and ugly doesn't mean always overweight and ugly. It just means in most cases, right? And so in this case, for me, I think that fits Kelsey to a T, okay? Kelsey asked the group, is it bad or normal if you've been with someone for an extended period of time for them to pay for something? And of course, Liz says she thinks that it's fine. Gary asks us, he asks for anything in return. And the answer is not yet, right? Billy, which is the reason why she's asking the question, because we learned last episode that Billy, felt a way about Kelsey receiving help from her ex, okay? He says that he feels like it's not her ex obligation and that she shouldn't take the money from him, and it's not his problem. Kelsey keeps trying to justify by saying she dedicated 10 years of her life to this man. Yeah, 10 years down the drain, but he is not your husband. He's not your husband. And Liz is still yelling, it's common law, it's common law.
Shut up. Shut up.
Liz, shut up, because you're not the one who's trying to save the slam pig. It's Billy. Billy is the one with his case, so it matters what he thinks, okay? And the truth came out. The truth came out, okay? Kelsey said that if she gets serious with Bill, her ex will not pay her rent anymore. Which is the reason she didn't move in with Bill. Because she said that Bill wanted her to move directly in with him. Right? And she knew that if she moved in with him, she was going to have to pay for her health care, and she was going to have to pay for her insurance. And she had already told us in an earlier episode, if she gets with Bill, she's going to have to work. She's not going to be put up, okay? I think that Kelsey is in a fucked up situation. I think that Bill feels like it makes it seem like he's not handling business with Kelsey's ex paying for shit. And Kelsey taking the money makes it seem like that he's stunning on him. Because it seems as if Billy can't take care of his girl. And I can see it being sort of emasculating to him. The fact that Kelsey is taking the money is emasculating to him, but she doesn't care. She just wants her ex to keep her in a certain lifestyle. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kelsey is just playing with Bill to have somebody to film with on the show to make her storyline more interesting. She cannot, there's no way that she's taking this money from this man and is not worried about how Bill feels about it. Kelsey ended up saying that she doesn't want to be homeless like Alicia.
Wow. She was, yes.
Oh, wow.
She said that, right?
Yes, she did.
Wow.
Which was a nasty thing to say, to throw that out there back in her face. That was a nasty thing to say. And I feel like what I know of Alicia right now, I hope Alicia eats your motherfucking ass up at the reunion, slam pig.
You're dirty little whore.
By her saying that, it ushers in the conversation with Joellen, and she asked Gary, was Alicia ever homeless? And he said that he didn't know where that came from. Liz says that she was taken aback when she said that she has always lived a good life. Liz can't say that Alicia always lived a good life unless she was living it with them, right? As if, when I say living it with them, I mean that she was like a sister, like another child in the household. She can't say that. You never know what people are going through unless you're in the house with them. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Liz says that she stands by the fact that she wasn't homeless, and Gary says that his mother and Alicia's mother were best friends when they were 17, and he thinks that he can speak to her childhood, and she was never homeless. Now it's trivia night at Audrey's. Rosie showed up. Give it up.
Come on, give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Give it up to Rosie. That's what you do, baby. You support your friends. You don't let no bitch run you off from support your friend, okay? Now, to separate Rosie and Kelsey, Ashley had two tables to keep them apart from each other. Rosie is explaining what happened with her and Kelsey to Liz, Joellen, and Ashley. And Liz is asking questions, and as Rosie is trying to explain, Liz is trying to pin her down and say that she wanted to get her zing back. And Joellen peeps it and tells her, let her answer. And Liz says, I'm asking a question. Joellen says, yeah, I know, but I'm trying to hear her answer.
Oh, what?
Liz says that she knows Rosie felt disrespected, but was she really disrespected, or could she not take a joke? Okay. Now, one of the trivia questions was, what was the name of the pig in Toy Story? And Joellen wrote Kelsey. Kelsey showed up with a sash that said Miss Slam Pig USA. Okay. Now, this is how I know that we live in two different worlds. Kelsey feels like that she's going to wear this sash and let the world know that Kelsey called her a slam pig. And if she can't handle it, it's on her, because to them in their world, it is lowbrow to call somebody a slam pig. But in my world, baby, when I tell you that the Black Housewives wouldn't have no shame and would have stood on business.
And bitch, who? Who?
Yeah, I said it. Slam pig. Spelled it out and everything. Slam pig. Right? It wouldn't have been no embarrassment. It wouldn't have been no embarrassment. They would have stood up in it. Well, certain ones. Kelsey keeps trying to talk to Rosie, and Rosie tells her they don't have to talk, okay? Now, Alicia is sitting with Rosie, and she said that she feels like she's been picked on a lot. And at one point, everyone was sitting with Rosie, and so Kelsey asks, can she join?
Oh, here we go.
Yo.
Alicia says playing in the middle sucks because she likes Rosie, and she wants to defend her, but she can't because she feels like she's going to let the clique down.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
That's all I needed to hear, and it explained to me what happened in Newport. They were a clique. They were a clique, and they gaslighted Rosie, as I thought. And y'all know it too. Y'all know it too, okay? Then the women in true fashion gaslight Rosie into thinking that Kelsey was just joking. She was not joking. She was not joking. She was trying to make Rosie the ass of a joke, and it was not funny. It was not funny. If Kelsey was the only one laughing, it wasn't funny. And I don't like that all of the criticism is to Rosie and nothing is addressed to Kelsey. Or that nobody said to Kelsey, even if it was a joke, which it wasn't, given your history, don't you think that it was in poor taste to try to even make a joke? And the issue is that they validate Kelsey's bad behavior, which is why she's in the predicament that she is in now. Okay? So Kelsey and Rosie got to fighting, and it was just draining. Kelsey refuses to apologize because she feels like that Rosie called her a slam pig after that. And poor Ashley was still trying to play trivia night. Ashley, baby, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. You real green, mama. You real Disney Channel. Baby, these girls didn't show up for trivia night. They showed up for the fight. They showed up for the fight. We didn't even tune in for trivia night, baby. We tuned in for the fight. We tuned in for the fight. Okay? You just need to be happy that y'all got people in Audrey's. Okay? And at one point, Ashley got so overwhelmed that she started yelling and crying. Okay? Rosie and Kelsey continued to fight, and Rosie ended up leaving, and I knew that she was going to leave, but at least you showed up and you didn't let these old pack of wolves run you off. Okay? At least you let them run you off, but at least
I always keep shit real. Ain't no fucking lie over here.
but at least you showed up for your friend. Salute to you for that. Okay? Next, we get Alicia. Alicia is taking Ruler's advice, and she come up with the business plan and the vision for Pizza Mama. Alicia said that she was nervous because Billy is a perfectionist when it comes to his businesses, and he also is a business attorney. And I was shocked to hear that he was an attorney. We didn't know that. We knew that he was a serial entrepreneur, but we did not know that he was an attorney, okay? You just don't know how many hats people wear. And I like that we didn't know everything about him. I like that they started putting like little bitty nuggets in there so we could find out more about them over time, okay? Now, we found out that Alicia actually named the pizza business Pizza Mama because Billy wanted to name it Bruno's. So she actually did help him with a lot that happened with a lot that goes on at Pizza Mama. Alicia really did have some great ideas that she presented to Billy. Alicia said that she wanted to talk to Billy because she wants Selena to look up to her and not rely on the man.
Natalie, don't water it down.
You wanted to talk to him so you can make sure that you're good with or without him because you don't want you and your daughter to end up like you and your mom. Tell him the truth. Tell him the truth and tell him how you really feel. Okay? Billy shares that if anything happens to him, everything will go to Alicia and Selena. And he actually has a money manager to manage everything because he knows that she doesn't know how to. Alicia feels like it's someone still controlling her, and he said, no, you don't understand, and you get defensive, which is the problem. But Billy, you have to, as her spouse, you have to help her understand. Because if something happens to you, she should know exactly what channels, or she should know exactly what is going to happen and the steps to follow, just so that the person that you're trusting isn't screwing her over. So in case something happened to you, you should trust Alicia and the money manager to be on the same team and have things in order for both of them to follow. Billy does agree to make Alicia part owner of Pizza Mama. He said that she came in and she made it magical, and he believes that she should be compensated for that. And I thought that that was great. It almost brought tears to my eyes. Okay? You know I'm a sensitive cat. Okay? Rosie, she ended up calling Ashley and she apologizes to her for leaving her event. And she ended up inviting her and all of the other women except for Kelsey to see Rich perform in Capo. Alicia and Liz meet at Joe Ellen's to commute to Capo. Alicia says that her mom started the phrase slam pig.
Girl.
Well, look, I don't know. Maybe she did. I never heard of the word slam pig before, but I was able to put two and two together to figure out what it meant. But I've never heard of it before. So it's very possible that her mother knows. You know, I never heard of it before, okay? Alicia says that she had a conversation with her mama about her dad, and her mother encouraged her to talk about what happened with her dad on camera. And her mother said that she was embarrassed by it and tried to protect Alicia from it. And we see a flashback of Alicia's mom saying that they had nowhere to go and they was going from house to house. And she even apologized to Alicia for marrying her dad, which was the wrong man. So it appears that they actually were homeless. Okay? Liz says that she wasn't trying to be insensitive to Alicia when she said that she wasn't homeless. The way that they think of homeless in America, they think that you were living out of a car. First of all, who the fuck is they? And then she said, your phrase is different than what we think of when we say homeless. And I said that you wasn't homeless because you wasn't. So she's kind of standing on it, and Alicia went off. Okay? And again, this is what happens when close friends and family join the show. They try to dissect whatever you do and everything that you say. And Alicia says that Alicia says that Liz was trying to dissect what she said to make herself feel better. Now, I gotta be honest. I'm totally team Alicia in this, but initially, I did think that Liz was trying to protect Alicia for putting that out there, even though I still felt like that she was overstepping, right? Alicia is a grown woman. But over time, the doubling down to me from Liz is crazy because you don't know what her and her mama then went through.
Do you really know? Do you really know?
No, you know.
Thank you.
And my thing is, it doesn't matter where she was living. If she didn't have a home, they were homeless. Okay? Now, Liz says the country thinks of homeless in a different way. The country also thinks of a mother and a grandmother in a different way. See, let's play life lessons. When you are a mother or an expecting grandmother, the country thinks you have given birth. And you haven't given birth. So the country don't think of you of a mother and a grandmother. You see how they work? When we try to dissect shit, because you felt a certain type of way when Rula was at that table and you felt that she neglected you being a mother because you hadn't given birth. But that's what I'm saying. You do the shit that you put on the next bitch. Now you're doing the same thing to Alicia. And I kept on telling y'all this. I feel like that Liz be trying to son Alicia and I don't like it. And I'm glad that Alicia is standing up for herself. Okay? Liz says that she didn't mean to invalidate her feelings.
You did.
Yes, you did, baby, because you have continued to do so afterwards. Yes, you did. You meant that shit. And I'm getting so tired of people apologizing for shit that they mean. Quit apologizing for shit that you mean. Because you meant it. And that's just like you spitting in my face. Okay? And that was pretty much the episode. Now, there was a little tension back and forth in the back of the car between Joellen and Liz. And it started for me ever since, from what I remember, when Joellen let it be known that Rosie called her after she got into it with Kelsey. So it gives credence to what Alicia said when she said that she wanted to have Rosie's back and support her, but she didn't want to let the click down. It's giving that Liz has an alliance going on with all of the girls. And she felt like that Joellen crossed her by, being a ally or a sounding board for Rosie to get her frustrations out about what happened. Okay? And I don't think that that's worked. And next week, it looks like Joellen and Liz are going to get into it. And Joellen says, Liz, if you pull my hair again, I will beat the shit out of you, baby. And if Joellen said that to that girl face like that, baby, I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand because that means that Joellen, I will have a different respect for Joellen now because it seems to me that she can give it to all girls and she's just not picking on, the weak girls. She'll go after the head bitch because it's right now, Liz seems to be seeing a peach even though she ain't really giving nothing. She ain't really giving, Liz ain't really giving, you know, centerpiece to me. Center seashell to me. She's not really giving center seashell or a center pearl to me. But, you know, they got her in the middle. I don't know. Okay? But, you know, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Liz was overstepping? I believe that she was overstepping. I do believe initially she was trying to protect Alicia, but I think that she's overstepping. Alicia should be able to tell her story without you trying to dissect what she was doing, and that's exactly what she was doing. And do y'all think that Alicia is putting a little extra on it? I don't think that she is. Listen, homeless looks different for different people. And I just think of homeless as a person who does not have a home. You living on somebody's couch is homeless. You living in somebody's basement is homeless if that is not your home. Right? If you can't live in your full glory, you're homeless, right? It just simply means that you don't have a home. It doesn't always mean that you're living under a bridge. Okay? But y'all, that's all I got right now. Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate the love and support. Please like the video. Please hype the video up and all that good stuff. And I will see y'all later. Adios.